Basics of Medical Biochemistry. First edition, 2024. Chapter 20. Diet and Nutrition, Part 1 of 3. By Professor Dr. Muhammad Jawad. MBBS, Tao, M.Phil Philosophy, Ph.D., Dip M.E. Head of the Biochemistry Department-Fazaia Ruth Pfau Medical College, Air University-PAF Base Faisal-Karachi-Pakistan. Ex-Professor of Biochemistry, Qassim University Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Ex-Professor, Head of the Biochemistry Department and Vice Principal. Liaquat College of Medicine and Dentistry and Fatima Jinnah Dental College, Karachi, Pakistan. Chapter 20. Diet and Nutrition. 20.1 Introduction.
Diet can be defined as the normal food we eat. Food is any substance consumed to provide nutritional support to the body. It is usually of plant or animal origin and contains prime nutrients, such as carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals along with significant amounts of water. The food is eaten by an organism and assimilated by the body cells to produce energy, maintain life, and stimulate growth. It should be such in amounts and quality to keep an organism healthy. Diet varies with age, sex, profession, and various physiological and other special conditions. By taking a healthy diet, many of the known health issues can be avoided. Weight-conscious people, who want to lose weight usually do so by using one of three possible methods. Decreasing kilocalorie energy intake. Increasing kilocalorie energy expenditure. Using a combination of both.
The energy supplied by diet can be measured in joules or calories. 1 kilocalorie, kcal, equals 1000 calories, 1 kilocalorie equals 4.2 kilojoule, kj, and 1 mj, megajoule, equals 1000 kj. Energy balance. Energy balance means taking in, i.e., eating and expenditure through work, exercise, etc., an equal number of calories or kilocalories. The rate of energy use up in the body is controlled by metabolic rate. It is the effect of metabolic rate that some people may eat less food but put on weight, but others appear to be able to eat anything without putting on a pound. Energy requirement. Males between 15 and 18 need about 2,750 calories per day and females between 15 and 18 need about 2,100 calories per day. The primary source of energy is carbohydrate, fat, and protein, but each depends on the type of exercise or sporting activity being undertaken. For exercises of a comparatively short nature and high intensity, the energy fuel comes from carbohydrates. For exercise of a longer duration, example up to 2 hours, but of moderate intensity, the energy in this situation comes equally from carbohydrates and fat. For the exercise of long duration and higher intensity, for example, a marathon, the amount of energy is mainly derived from fat stores. Table 20.1 per hour energy requirement in different activities. Activity. Energy required. Standing. 14 kilocalories, 60 kj. Easy walking. 90 kilocalories, 380 kj. Playing tennis. 238 kilocalories, 1000 kj. Cycling. 329 kilocalories, 1380 kj. Swimming. 357 kilocalories, 1500 kj. Playing football. 476 kilocalories, 2000 kj.
Healthy diet. A healthy diet helps maintain or improve overall health. It provides the body with essential nutrition, fluid, macronutrients, micronutrients and adequate calories. A healthy diet can be maintained by considering the following recommendations. Limit energy supply from carbohydrates, mainly starch and natural sugars, in the range of 50 to 60%. Limit energy supply from fat, mainly unsaturated fats, in the range of 25 to 30%. Limit energy supply from protein, mainly lean meat, poultry, fish, and plants, in the range of 10 to 15%. Increase the intake of fiber, calcium, and vitamin C. Reduce intake of salt.
A healthy diet is a balanced diet as it provides all components of food in the required amounts. Ketogenic diet, a diet high in fats and low in carbohydrates, is known as the ketogenic diet. This can help to prevent lactic acidosis but bring about no improvement in neurological symptoms.
Overfat people, men have more than 19% of their total body composition as fat and women have more than 26% of their total body composition as fat.
Obesity, it is a condition when the ideal body weight is exceeded by 20%. It is a disorder of an excess of fat in adipose tissue due to the failure of the body weight regulatory system. It is the condition of extreme overweight evidenced by the waist to hip circumference, where, greater than 0.95 in men and greater than 0.80 in women. There are many types of health risks with obesity. 20.2 Nutrition.
The use of foods by an organism is termed nutrition. The ability of an organism to use a particular food material depends upon its chemical compound composition and the metabolic pathways available to the organism. Nutrition is the study of food or nutrients regarding digestion, absorption, transport, excretion, and utilization by the body. It is also concerned with certain social, economic, cultural and psychological implications of food. It also covers other aspects of food related to its preservation, marketing, processing and distribution. Clinical aspects of nutrition cover the problems associated with a deficiency or excess of nutrients in the body.
Nutrients, these are the chemical substances present in food that provide energy, provide materials for building body parts, provide factors to regulate needed chemical processes in the body and function as an antioxidant. These constituents of food are necessary to sustain normal body functions. These chemicals either can't be made in the body or they can't be made fast enough to meet the needs of the body. Types of nutrition. Nutrition may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. 1. Autotrophic nutrition, organisms able to synthesize their food from simple organic materials such as all green plants. 2. Heterotrophic nutrition, organisms feed directly or indirectly on the food synthesized by autotrophs, such as all animals, most bacteria, and fungi. 20.3 Biochemical role of nutrients. 20.3.1 Nutritional role of carbohydrates, they are the main source of energy. Found in bread, pasta, potatoes, rice, cereals, honey, etc. Stored in muscles and the liver as glycogen, this can quickly be converted into glucose and used as energy in the muscles. A high carbohydrate intake in diet enables athletes and other sports persons to train at a higher intensity, for a longer duration and enhances recovery. Athletes and other sports persons should consume 5 to 12 g carbohydrates per kg body mass each day. Carbohydrates are the chief constituent of our diet and act as an instant source of energy for the body. Their caloric value is 4.1 kcal/g. The requirement of carbohydrates in a balanced diet is 50 to 70% and their reserve in the normal adult is about 500 grams. Absorbable forms of carbohydrates are glucose, fructose, and galactose. Glucose is the major metabolic fuel of the body. The ultimate and final product of all types of carbohydrates in the body is glucose. It is a primary source of energy for brain cells and erythrocytes. It is also regarded as major metabolic fuel of the body and acts as an instant source of energy for cellular functions, like muscle contraction, neural conduction, tissue repair, etc. The chief dietary source of fructose is sucrose, taken as table sugar. Excess dietary fructose is harmful as it leads to increased synthesis of triglycerides. Maltose is a disaccharide of 2 glucose units, present in malt and malt products. It is produced within the body by the action of salivary amylase, in the oral cavity, and pancreatic amylase, in the small intestine, upon starch. The main dietary sources of maltose are rice, potatoes, cereals, and malt. Lactose is a disaccharide known as milk sugar formed by 1 unit of glucose and 1 unit of galactose. Lactose is abundantly found in milk and dairy products. It is produced by the mammary glands of humans and some mammals. It is synthesized within the mammary gland and occurs as a 5% component of milk. Sucrose is a disaccharide composed of a molecule of glucose and fructose. It is obtained from cane sugar, sugar beet, and sugar maple. It occurs in the juices of most of vegetables and fruits, example pineapples, sugar cane, sugar beet, and carrots. Overconsumption of sucrose has been linked with some adverse health effects. The most common is dental caries or tooth decay, in which oral bacteria convert sugars, including sucrose, from food into acids that attack tooth enamel through the process of demineralization. Starch is the main form of carbohydrates taken by humans in their diet. It is a dietary polysaccharide and upon hydrolysis produces glucose. Potato, legumes, cereals, wheat, and carrots along with the seeds, leaves and stems of most vegetables are rich in starch. Glycogen is another polymer of glucose regarded as storage polysaccharide of an animal cell, also known as animal starch. Glycogen is chiefly taken as liver and meat in the diet. Muscle glycogen is regarded as a fuel reserve for the synthesis of ATP during muscle contraction. Liver glycogen is responsible to maintain blood glucose levels, particularly during the early stages of fasting. The glycemic index is the increase in blood glucose after a test dose of carbohydrates compared with that after an equivalent amount of glucose. It is the ratio of the area under the blood glucose curve after eating a particular food divided by the area after taking the same amount of carbohydrate as glucose. Foods with low glycemic index generally aid good metabolic control, since they cause less fluctuation in insulin secretion. 20.3.2 Nutritional role of proteins. Proteins are required for the repair and growth of the body, thus involved in building body tissues by providing amino acids. These are found in meat, fish, eggs, milk, etc. Helps to form antibodies which are part of the immune system. Adequate protein in the diet is needed to ensure muscles and the body stay healthy. For the general adult population, 1 g of protein per kg of body weight is enough on daily basis. Athletes and other sports persons should consume 1.3 to 1.8 g protein per kg body mass each day. There is no storage form of protein in the body like that of carbohydrates, glycogen, or lipids, depot fat. RDA for protein is 56 g/day for a 70 kg man, but the daily intake of protein is 70 to 100 grams in the typical American diet. A high-protein diet does not lead to the storage of amino acids, but a low-protein diet may cause serious nutritional problems like kwashiorkor and protein energy malnutrition. Essential amino acids cannot be synthesized in the body and so, they must be taken into the diet. Their deficiency affects growth, health, and protein synthesis. Examples of essential amino acids are lysine, leucine, isoleucine, methionine, phenylalanine, tryptophan, threonine and valine. Semi-essential amino acids are formed in the body but not in sufficient amounts for body requirements, especially in children. Arginine and histidine are semi-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids are formed in the body in amounts enough for adults and children. Non-essential amino acids include alanine, asparagine, aspartate, cysteine, glutamate, glutamine, glycine, proline, serine, and tyrosine. Plasma amino acids are utilized in the synthesis of all tissue proteins, plasma proteins, enzymes, proteinous hormones, hemoglobin, antibodies, etc. They are also involved in the formation of non-protein nitrogenous compounds like epinephrine, choline, thyroid hormone, purines, pyrimidines, porphyrins, nicotinic acid, coenzymes, glutathione, nitric oxide, histamine, serotonin, melanin, etc. Dietary proteins are the major supplier of nitrogen to the body. When protein intake is 90 g/day, then nitrogen forms about 16% of protein, i.e., each gram of nitrogen comes from 6.25 grams of protein and the total nitrogen taken daily is 14.5 grams. 20.3.3 Biological value, BV, of protein. It is a measure of the proportion of absorbed protein from food that becomes incorporated into the proteins of the body. It shows how readily the digested protein can be used in protein synthesis in the cells of the body. The biological value of a protein is obtained by calculating the nitrogen used for tissue formation divided by the nitrogen absorbed from food. This product is multiplied by 100 and expressed as a percentage of nitrogen utilized. This value is related to the number and type of amino acids present in a protein. If food is missing one or more of the essential amino acids, it has a low biological value. For example, baked beans, maize, peas, etc. If food has all the essential amino acids, then its biological value will be high. Generally, proteins from animal sources have a higher biological value than proteins from plant sources. 20.3.4 Protein efficiency ratio, per it is the weight gain of a test subject divided by the intake of a particular food protein during the specified time, test period. It is a useful method to evaluate the quality of protein in food. 20.3.5 Chemical score of protein. It is a measure of protein quality based on chemical analysis of its amino acid composition. It is obtained by taking the ratio of a gram of the limiting amino acid in a test diet to the same amount of the corresponding amino acid in a reference diet, such as whole egg protein, multiplied by 100. Table 20.2 Biological values, BV, of some important animal and plant proteins. Animal protein. BV, percent. Plant protein. BV, percent. Fish. 70-80. Soybean. 64. Whole egg. 94. Wheat. 67. Egg white. 83. Maize. 60. Cow milk. 85. Oats. 66. Liver. 75. Green gram. 51. Meat. 74. Peas. 46. 20.3.6 Nutritional role of lipids. They provide energy, and help in storing energy and vitamins. Found in cheese, cream, butter, margarine, meat, nuts, and oils. Highly refined oils, example vegetable and fish oils, contain an appreciable amount of fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E and K. Main function of dietary lipids is to provide essential fatty acids and to improve the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Lipids are easily stored in the body, particularly in adipose tissue. A high fat intake in diet should be avoided. Even athletes and those involved in different physical activities should consume less than 1 g fat per kg body mass each day. Adult man ingests about 60 to 150 g of lipids per day, of which 90% is normally triacylglycerol. The remainder of dietary lipids are made of cholesterol, cholesterol esters, phospholipids, and free fatty acids. Lipids are a large constituent of our diet. They are an integral component of the cell membrane of cell organelles and cytoplasm. The caloric value of lipids is 9.3 kcal/g. Brain and nerves are quite rich in lipids, particularly nerve fibers are enveloped by a myelin sheath which is made up of lipids. Vital organs are enveloped by lipids and thus well protected from external shocks. Lipids also act as thermostatic components. Lipid derivatives are precursors for other essential biomolecules. For example, acetic acid, which is the breakdown product of fatty acid, can be used for the synthesis of several complex molecules like cholesterol and sex hormones. In combination with carbohydrates and proteins, they form glycolipids and lipoproteins. Lipoproteins are the moving fuel in the body, such as high-density and low-density lipoproteins. Essential fatty acids, EFAs, are a group of polyunsaturated fatty acids that are not synthesized in the body and are necessary for normal growth and development. These are 3 in number: linoleic acid, linolenic acid and arachidonic acid. Linoleic acid is the most important that can from the others. It has been observed that linoleic acid can be converted into linolenic acid and arachidonic acid if it is present in sufficient amounts in the body. Pyridoxine, vitamin B6, helps in the process of interconversion. It is advised that about 5 grams of linoleic acid should be consumed daily. Essential fatty acids can also be classified as belonging to one of 2 families, the omega-6 family, linoleic acid, gamma-linolenic acid, arachidonic acid, or the omega-3 family, alpha-linolenic acid. Essential fatty acids must be supplied in the diet. They are regarded as structural elements of tissues and components of membranes. Essential fatty acids in the diet establish and maintain body health by providing energy and increasing stamina. They enhance thermogenesis, help build muscle, prevent muscle breakdown and speed recovery from fatigue and illness. Arachidonic acid is an important precursor for prostaglandins, thromboxanes, and leukotrienes. EFAs are necessary for cell growth and division. They have antifungal, anti-yeast, and antimicrobial properties, thus protecting against infections. Lack of essential fatty acids in the diet can produce growth retardation and other deficiency symptoms. The configuration of the double bonds in most unsaturated fatty acids is cis, i.e. the groups attached to the carbons of the double bond are on the same side. Naturally occurring unsaturated vegetable oils have almost all cis bonds, but during cooking, some of the cis bonds are converted to trans bonds. Many foods contain trans fatty acids, as well as they are derived from the saturation of fatty acids during hydrogenation or hardening, of natural oils in the manufacture of margarine. A diet laden with trans fatty acids increases the risk of heart disease. Trans fatty acids are richly found in many deep-fried foods. Eating more unsaturated fat than saturated and limiting trans fats can reduce the risk of heart disease and improve good, HDL, cholesterol levels. Cholesterol is a type of derived lipids, necessary for the normal functioning of the body. It is a major constituent of the plasma membrane and lipoproteins. Foods derived from animals such as egg yolks, meat, poultry, fish, seafood, and whole milk dairy products contain high amounts of cholesterol. Foods derived from plants such as fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and seeds do not contain cholesterol. Cholesterol level is maintained by exogenous, diet, and endogenous, de novo synthesis mainly in the liver, sources. The body synthesizes 1.5 to 2.0 g of cholesterol every day from acetyl-CoA units and the average daily dietary intake is 0.4 to 0.5 g. The process of cholesterol biosynthesis in the liver is strongly regulated by dietary cholesterol levels. When dietary intake of cholesterol is high, synthesis is decreased, and when dietary intake is low, synthesis is increased. Higher amounts of cholesterol, hypercholesterolemia, can cause atherosclerosis of vital arteries, causing cerebrovascular, coronary and peripheral vascular disease by narrowing and hardening of the arteries. It is the recommendation of various health agencies working on the prevention of heart diseases, to limit average daily cholesterol intake to less than 300 mg. In case of the presence of heart disease, it is further dropped to less than 200 mg daily. Food high in saturated fat should be avoided as it generally contains large amounts of dietary cholesterol. Table 20.3 Fatty acid percentage in various dietary fats. Dietary fat. Saturated fatty acid. Monounsaturated fatty acid. Polyunsaturated fatty acid. Butter. 63. 25. 3. Lard. 40. 41. 10. Sunflower oil. 9. 57. 29. Corn oil. 13. 27. 53. Soybean oil. 16. 23. 50. Canola oil. 7. 62. 28. Olive oil. 14. 71. 10. Palm oil. 86. 12. 2. Coconut oil. 87. 6. 2. 20.3.7 Nutritional role of vitamins. They help in getting energy from carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Most vitamins cannot be produced by the body, so must be present in the diet. Vitamins are only required in small quantities and are needed for good vision, healthy skin, blood cell formation, healing, blood coagulation, and healthy bones and teeth. Vitamins are divided into two groups: fat-soluble, vitamins A, D, E and K, and water-soluble, vitamins B complex and C. Fat-soluble vitamins are obtained from food like oily fish and cheese. Water-soluble vitamins are largely obtained from leafy vegetables and fruits. A deficiency of a vitamin in the diet leads to a health problem. The general symptoms of any vitamin deficiency include frequent illness, slow healing of wounds and tiredness. Detail of vitamins is given in the chapter on vitamins. 20.3.8 Nutritional role of minerals. They are concerned with the regulation of water balance, bone development, and maintenance. Major minerals with prominent functions are calcium, phosphorus, iron, sulfur, sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Many others are also required in trace amounts. The body gets minerals from a wide variety of foods including both animal and plant sources. A detail of minerals is given in the chapter on minerals. 20.3.9 Nutritional role of water. Water is necessary for many body processes such as digestion, absorption, transport, and making blood and other body fluids. Fluid intake before, during and after exercise is important. Dehydration as little as 2% of body mass can impair performance. Water should be consumed regularly to maintain hydration levels. Water intake is mainly dependent on climate conditions. Taking in water is vital for everyone as it makes up about half of the body's weight. It is needed to control body temperature, especially when we are exercising. During physical activity, one should sip fluid regularly. Athletes should drink 1 liter per hour after training to ensure adequate recovery. Most sports drinks contain both carbohydrates and electrolytes. Sports drinks provide a source of energy and can replace salts lost in sweat. These are best consumed during exercise that is longer than 30 minutes. 20.3.10 Nutritional role of fiber. A type of complex carbohydrate. It is required to regulate intestinal motility, water absorption, and prevent constipation and certain bowel disorders. Good sources of fiber include rolled oats, beans, whole wheat bread and bran. 20.4 Balanced diet. A diet that can be followed for a long period and keep the body healthy is called a balanced diet. It is affected by age, climate, sex, taste, or desire, level of activity, religious prejudice, body surface and social customs. A person must have all the components of a diet, otherwise there will be tiredness due to the shortage of energy. If someone takes too much energy-containing food, that will cause obesity, which leads to different diseases. A balanced diet should provide an adult weight of 70 kilograms, with 2,400 to 3,000 calories per day. 1 g of carbohydrate provides 4.1 kilocalories. 1 g of fat provides 9.3 kilocalories. 1 g of protein provides 4.1 kilocalories. Percentage-wise contribution of 3 major components of a balanced diet. 60 to 70% of total energy should come from carbohydrates. 20 to 35% of total energy should come from fats. 10 to 15% of total energy should come from proteins. A balanced diet needs to contain foods from all the main food groups in the correct proportions to provide the body with optimum nutrition. It should also be made up of the correct number of calories to maintain a healthy weight and be low in processed foods. As every person is different and hence the correct diet for health may vary from person to person, however, taking a varied diet that covers all food groups and is low in undesirable nutrients such as sodium, saturated fats, and sugar is the right way to a healthy body. Caloric requirement of the body. The largest component of energy expenditure is attributed to the lean body mass is known as basal metabolic rate, BMR. The lean body mass declines with age and is lower in women than men. Nutrient requirement. It is the minimum amount of a nutrient necessary to prevent the occurrence of a specific disease or disease symptom. It is usually determined for a person by extensive scientific investigations. It varies from individual to individual and is affected by body size, age, sex, and health status. Dietary reference intakes. It is a set of dietary recommendations for vitamins and minerals. These are reference values that are quantitative estimates of nutrient intakes to be used for planning and assessing diets for healthy people. The following are the important dietary reference intakes. 1. Recommended dietary allowance or recommended daily allowance, RDA. The dietary intake that is sufficient to meet the daily nutrient requirements of 98% of the individuals in a specific life stage group and with specific physiological conditions, such as pregnancy and lactation. It does not include intake for those with any disease, and it must come from the consumption of foods, i.e., dietary, and does not include intake from supplements. 2. Adequate intake daily, AID. It is a value based on observed or experimentally determined approximations of nutrient intake daily by a group or groups of healthy people, used when an RDA cannot be determined. 3. Estimated average requirement. Here it is a nutrient intake value that is estimated to meet the requirement of half of the healthy individuals in a group. It is restricted to healthy persons only. 4. Tolerable upper level, TOL, of intake. It is the highest level of daily nutrient intake that is likely to pose no risks of adverse health effects to almost all individuals in the general population. As intake increases above the TOL, the risk of adverse effects increases. Daily food intake must supply total energy requirements for physical activity of both everyday and special ones. Everyday physical activity includes sitting, standing, and other routine movements. Special types of physical activities are concerned with individual requirements. They vary with types of work or play and from minute to minute, on the intensity of work and length of rest breaks. Table 20.4 Daily Energy Requirements. Circumstances. Requirements. Healthy women. At rest. 1,600 kilocalories, 6.7 mj. Light work. 2,000 kilocalories, 8.4 mj. Heavy work. 2,250 kilocalories, 9.4 mj. Healthy men. At rest. 2,000 kilocalories, 8.4 mj. Light work. 2,700 kilocalories, 11.3 mj. Heavy work. 3,500 kilocalories, 14.6 mj. The specific dynamic action of food, SDA, or thermic effect of food, it is an extra heat production over and above the caloric value of a given amount of food. The average taking of food stimulates the metabolism of cells so that heat production increases by 30% by protein, and 4 to 5% by carbohydrates and fat. Table 20.5 General Guidelines for calculating nutrient intake for different levels of exercise. Daily exercise. Nutrient, G. Body mass, kg. 50 kg. 60 kg. 70 kg. 80 kg. 90 kg. 100 kg. 1 hour moderate. Carbohydrate. 250-350. 300-420. 350-490. 400-560. 450-630. 500-700. Protein. 65. 78. 91. 104. 117. 130. Fat. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 100. 1 to 3 hours intensive. Carbohydrate. 350-500. 420-600. 490-700. 560-800. 630-900. 700-1000. Protein. 75. 90. 105. 120. 135. 150. Fat. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 100. 5 to 6 hours. Moderate intensity. Carbohydrate. 500-600, 600-720, 700-840, 800-960, 900-1080, 1000-1200. Protein 90, 108, 126, 144, 162, 180. Fat 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. End of Part 1 of 3 of Chapter 20. Thank you.